You're gonna make me do it even though I don't fucking tell them.
Oh my god. Okay.
What?
Do not stop the camera. Alright?
Who you talking to?
You. It's
okay.
annoying having all the separate clips and stuff when it comes to editing.
Gal Capagasha.
Alright.
My son is really looking like he wants to lay down.
Jack DeZero here. Today I'm here with Nia Ivy, my girlfriend. Oh, who said that? Thumbnail.
We're dating?
We're dating? Question mark? Yeah, we've got Rex here now because he just threw up on the couch, so I feel bad for him. And he wanted to come up.
Yeah, he wants to get down.
Nia doesn't like when Rex is around. Nia hates dogs and all animals, and she actually has a thing against the vegan movement, and you should cancel her. All vegans. She actually is incredibly racist and homophobic and sexist, and I'm not putting any of that in. Yeah.
A fucking lie after lie.
Yeah.
But no, I just think he wants to get on the couch now.
He's chilling. He's
So
asleep.
he can go to sleep properly.
He's asleep. If he wanted to go on the couch, he wouldn't have came up to me.
He came up to you for a little second. You picked him up. He just came up to you to say hi. You picked him up though. He wasn't. I don't think he was trying to
You
get
want to
on
do
your
this
lap.
video or not?
Shut the. I don't know who he be thinking he talking to, y'all, but we about to.
I need more of this.
You haven't even finished your first cup, so like, chill out.
Okay, so this video is going to be all about the story of how we met. So there's a lot of layers to this, but I guess we'll start at the very start.
And we'll insert clips and things if we choose to do so. If we choose to do so, to just really emphasize certain moments and connections between like coincidences that occurred when we first met that just really put it into perspective how rare what we had / have is.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll go with the very start. So basically I went out and I met up with this guy and I made something called an advice of the day video, which is basically I go and say, hey, I'm Jack and today I'm here with boop, and they say their name, and the advice of today is boop, and they say their advice of the day. So I did one with someone named Shepherd or Finn, and anyway, he ended up sharing it, putting it on his story, and then you can talk about your POV.
Okay. So I was friends with one of Jack's like connections or whatever. Like, you know, they were cool filming videos, things of that nature. And I was friends with the person that Jack was interviewing that specific time. And I thought that was he was super cute. I wanted to see what he was about, but I didn't really think it was going to go anywhere too much. Like I had talked to people before, just like all of us do. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, at least he's cute. So I can at least shoot my shot because one of my friends knew him. So I texted the boy Shepherd / Finn, you know, he goes by both. And I'm just like, is this like guy single? And he goes, oh yeah, you know, I'll ask him. He ends up actually later on, I found out, screenshotting my message. He didn't just text Jack and go, oh, this girl I know thinks you're cute, here's her Instagram. He legit, didn't he send you a screenshot of my text? And so I was like, is this Jack guy single? So that's what I said to Finn. So he screenshots my message, just straight up like sends it to him. Had you guys DM'd before that, or that was like the first thing he like?
Me and Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke before that.
Okay, yeah, but so did he just send you that on a whim, or did he send it to you and go, oh, by the way, this girl likes you? Like, how did it happen?
You want to see?
Oh my God, yes, I've never seen the DM. So that's how, you know, it was read to me. Like, Finn screenshotted my message and legit just sent it to him. So then Finn screenshots Jack's message and sends it back to me, and Jack is like, yes, this Jack guy is single.
He screenshots, you said, I would like to know if this Jack guy is single, ... Okay, bye. I'll put the screenshot here. Okay, bye. And then he sends the profile. And then he said, bah, this Jack guy is single, laughing emoji.
Jack goes, do you know her? Is she a random?
Yeah, and then he said, we just Insta friends, ha ha ha. She's in the US though, lol, good luck. I told her you're single, do your thing.
Yeah, he sent me this one.
And then I sent the demon emoji, and I sent a laughing emoji, and I said, might have to hop on a flight real quick.
Yes, you did.
And
You
then
told me that
he
too.
said laughing emoji, and then he sends us your screenshot. And you said, not you dropping the US bar, OMG, ha ha ha, you're the best. He's so fine, ha ha ha, we shall see. And the eyes. And then Finn says, then message him, dumbass.
Yes. and I did. I was like,
you're like,
okay.
And then you're like, oh my God, okay, yes, sir. And then
Yes.
Finn says, girls be so stubborn about messaging guys, laughing emoji. And then
And
he
I'm
says,
never stubborn about messaging guys.
and then he says, good luck, hope you get married. And they'll bring emoji. And then he sends me that screenshot, and then he says, +1 assist. In the thing. I said, my guy. And then he said your thing. He said, she TikTok famous. And then
I don't know.
yeah, and I said, shit, that's crazy. Finn the plug. And then he said, I got them on deck. And then I said, I'll let you know if she messages me. Girls be shy for real. And I was
so
like,
cute.
bad. You just got to start it. IDK. I'll wait a bit. It's long distance anyway, so IDK the point, but do your thing. And I said, just connections, bro. Who knows if we're going to be in the US at some stage. I'll give it a few hours. If still nothing, I'll say something. Yeah, lol, that's what I do. Bet. Good luck. So that was the end of that conversation. And then fucking I get a message from you out of nowhere, if we can even go up that far.
You can just search up like the first word. Just search in your DMs. You can search single and it'll pop up. Just search up the word single. It'll pop
Surely
up.
I can scroll.
And it'll.
I can scroll.
Okay.
You haven't sent me that much stuff.
Oh my gosh. And he's still scrolling. So we end up, making a joke. I DM Jack, and it's so funny. So why did you want to wait a little bit?
What do you mean?
Why did you tell Finn I'll wait a little bit instead of like you messaging me? Like, why were you like, I'll wait a little bit? Did you think it was
Because
like
it's
bullshit?
like, it could have just been like you just messaging, saying something, but like you didn't actually want anything to go through. It could have just been like, your classic, like, oh yeah, he's cute, whatever.
Exactly.
But it's like, if you message me, then I know you actually like.
Yeah, so then I
Interesting.
messaged Jack the same thing, and I just was like, so you're single? And then he was like, yep, this Jack guy is definitely single. So I think within our first conversation, if Jack, he's going to scroll.
Oh, here. We found it.
We
First
found it.
message that she ends up following me and then messages me saying, guess the Jack guy really is single. Ha ha ha. And then I said, the Jack guy is single. And a laughing emoji. And then this is on the 11th of March, right? And I send this at 4:01. And then she doesn't reply after that. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, like.
So were you waiting for my response?
Yeah, I was like, okay, she's just playing with me. I'm just another number. I was like,
No, I was
like,
asleep.
it's it. I was like, whatever. And then I completely forgot the fact this girl's from the other side of the world. She's 16 hours behind me. She's probably asleep right now. But I didn't even think about that.
I was knocked out. He told me, he was like, yeah, I knew you were trying to play hard. I was like, what? I was asleep. I was like, I think it was like midnight my time. And that's why the girls, my best friends, still make jokes and go, why is Nia awake? Why is it awake? Because I'm never awake after 9:30 p.m. It's just a thing. My body can't take it. So I was super knocked out at midnight.
Yeah.
I was so glad you responded.
And then she finally replies at 12 in the morning. So it's like, so technically it's the 12th of March. So she replies at 12:20. She said, so what part of Australia will I be visiting soon? This is the second message she ever sent to me. So what part of Australia will I be visiting soon?
Did you think in the moment that was too bold?
It was like flirty banter.
Yeah.
And then I replied in the morning at 7:20. And I said, Melbourne's where it's at as long as you don't mind bipolar ass weather. Shake my head. Laughing emoji. Where you from? And then she said, bipolar weather. You never heard of St. Louis then over here in Missouri. It was 44 yesterday and now it's 74. You been over here? I said, bah, we use degrees over here. So I don't know if that's a big jump or not in temperature. No, I've never been. Might have to hop on a flight and you can show me around. You're funny, haha. We use degrees too. So yes, you use it is degrees.
You meant to say
you use
Celsius.
Fahrenheit. We
Yeah,
use Celsius.
you meant to say
There's
Celsius.
so many things that's like different. Like
And we learned each other's worlds. Yeah.
yes. Well, I haven't been to your world yet.
Fast forward, I've been in Australia for almost a month now, and we spoke for almost a month before I flew up here. I flew up here April
We're
12th.
skipping like a lot.
I just was, yeah, I know. That's why I just said fast forward.
Oh
to
yeah,
let
okay.
you guys
Right
know.
now she's in Melbourne and
We're-
she's going back to America tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
She's been here for like about a month.
That's crazy.
I know. So anyway, this happened. Small talk, yada yada yada. I'll see if I insert screenshots. here.
Yeah,
If
so-
not, you've heard what it says anyway.
So,
But what's it called? So that happens, and then we ends up calling on it was the 13th of March, and then we're on a call, and then I'm saying something like, "Oh, I got to go celebrate my brother's birthday," and then she's like, "What? No way!" You didn't even clock it. You said, "Oh, I got to go celebrate my brother's birthday." I'm like, "What?" I
yeah.
was like, what date is it there? Because she's behind 16 hours, right? I'm like, what date is it there? She's like 13th of March. I'm like, no way. So it turns out both our brothers have the exact same birthday, which is crazy. But it's different years, but the exact same day.
Right, it's the exact
So-
same day, which is awesome.
Yeah, which was the first sign. I was like, holy shit.
What did you, in that moment, do you remember thinking of it as a sign in that moment, or you just were like, oh, that's a crazy ass coincidence with this girl I've never met before? Did you?
Well, it was only one. So one is a coincidence. Multiple is a sign.
Right.
So I was like,
Awesome.
like, oh shit! Like it raised the bar. I was like, oh shit, what is this? But anyway, then on the phone, we ended up calling her. I've never had a FaceTime call longer than like maybe an hour or 2 hours, something like that,
Yeah.
whatever. Our first FaceTime call was on like so we met started talking on the 11th. Our first call was on the 13th, and then
That
it was up
fast.
until like 3:40 in the morning or something. So the call was like 5 hours or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then I was doing 75 hard at the time. So at 3:40 in the morning, I need to go like pump out my push-ups and meditate and stuff like that. And then as I'm meditating, at 3:40 in the morning, I get a voice that tells me like, oh, get up, make a video about how you're feeling right now. So I make a video. I'm not going to post a video because it's cheesy, but
It's beautiful.
basically I just was talking in the video about how like I had a feeling that she's the one, how she's special, and just like, I don't know, because something about that call, it just like, I just felt so connected to her. Right? And then so I just had to get up and make a video like, holy shit, this is crazy. This girl from fucking across the world is making me feel like this. Like, what the hell is going on? So I ended up making this video at 3:40 the next day. And on this call, we spoke about a few things, but some of the things we spoke about was that our favorite Disney movies to watch on a rainy day was Tangled and Aladdin, right?
Yes.
Keep that in mind. Disney movies, rainy day. Tangled, Aladdin. Right? We're talking
Because
about-
Jack was in an Aladdin play when he was younger, and I thought that was so sweet.
I
'cause
was Aladdin in my school play.
and I did plays when I was younger too. So that was one of the things we talked about on the phone. And I just was like, what the heck is even that? And yeah.
What the hell?
And I remember when the call ended the first time, and then you called me back because you were like, your phone, you set in a certain amount of time for you to be on like social medias and stuff, so his phone would knock him off of Instagram, and he called me right back, and I was like, oh, he really wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because that could have been your way out. But I was like, oh,
True.
he's trying to call me back. So I was like nervous all over again.
And then, so we did the call, and I was like, holy shit, like this girl's special. I don't know, something about her, we just click. And then, yeah, get off the call. I make this video, say about how, like, I don't know what this is. Like, I just thought I'd make the video so I could watch it back in future. Just like, could be cool, maybe down the road, whatever, I'll show the video.
Yeah.
Anyway, on the phone, we spoke about that, the Disney thing, rainy day, Aladdin, Tangled. We also spoke about baseball, how she has no one to go to baseball with, a baseball game. I'm from Australia, I've never been to a baseball game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit, I'll go to a baseball game with you, shit. So we had a bit of conversation about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we spoke about other things, but they were the main things.
Yes.
And then now you can talk about the signs that you had after the call. So
Yes.
when we ended the call, it was 3:40 in the morning for me, but for her, it was just like the end of the 13th of March, which is our brother's birthday.
Yes.
So she was about to go out to bowling with her family. Mm-hmm. So now you can talk about the signs that you had.
Yes, so I was going out to bowling for my brother's birthday. And it was the 13th of March. The 13th had already passed for him. So by the time, in a couple minutes, I'll tell you the other side of the story. But by the time I'm explaining to him these signs, it's like 14th of March for him. So technically, we both had this same feeling at the same time, just a day apart. So he's like in the future. It was just really cool and awesome coincidence. So I'm leaving the bowling party. My mom and me drove separate cars to the bowling alley for my brother's birthday. We met my brother and my dad up there, my brothers and my dad up there. And I was driving back, and I've only been talking to this boy for a few days. At this point, it had probably been now a week or two. If it was, no. If it was March, the end of his party, okay, so it had almost probably been like a week or something. So I just was already scared to like talk to my parents about it. I live on my own, so I would have had to like go to my mom's apartment, things of that nature. So it's not like I just had to go, hey, mom and dad, like living in their house. But I was still nervous, I'm independent, but I was still nervous to tell them like, hey, because I already at that point, I kind of knew that I wanted to meet him in person, but he wasn't close. He's like 10,000 miles away.
I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were really close to it. I mean, you're just
10,000 miles.
Yeah, 10,000. Hey, it's less than 20,000. So
exactly.
Good
way to look at it.
Mm-hmm. I was coming back from the bowling alley, and on my way back, I was just thinking about him and the conversation we had. On my way there, though, there was a weird coincidence where I was thinking about him and the conversation we had and how long we stayed on the phone. I just remember it was hitting me. I was about to get off the exit to enter like St. Charles, the city of like where my brothers and my dad live at. And all of a sudden, I just look up and there's this baseball billboard. And the billboard wasn't there the day before, like 2 days before, or maybe 3, because I had just went out to dinner with my sisters earlier that week. So I was like, oh my God, I did not see this. And it was like, take your partner to the baseball game, something like that. And I was like, what the hell? That is so funny. I was just talking about how I wanted to go to the baseball game with him. Okay, cool. I don't know. I let it slide. And I wasn't looking for a relationship or anything serious because I was very focused, and I still am, on my career. And I honestly thought it was going to fizzle out, just like things do, especially when you're younger. I was like, oh, we're going to think each other are cute. We're going to have a video call, and we're not going to fucking talk for the next 2 weeks. And they'll probably get dry. And then they'll be like, what you doing? WYD. 5 fucking times for no reason.
WYD XX.
Yeah, HRU, like that's how it's gonna be. We'll probably add each other on Snap, and that's what it's. I genuinely just thought, because I was like, hey, nobody really cares anymore, which is sad, but some people still do, which is good. So I saw that sign and I went, that's weird. Forgot about it. Went to the party. Left the party. Driving back home, I tell my CarPlay, Apple CarPlay, and I'm like, hey Siri, play Disney music. My mom texts me probably a couple seconds after, and I'm thinking about him now in the conversation. I'm like, damn, I hope he like wants to call me again. My mom texts me on my car, and Siri says, your mom sent you a message, and it says, hey Nia, it's about to rain. Remember, my mom drove a separate car to the party, leaving the party, so she's in front of me. She's like 5 minutes, 7 minutes maybe ahead of me, barely, and she's like, hey, you're about to drive through rain. Just letting you know, because sometimes I get scared of thunderstorms. So I'm like, oh, okay, mom, yeah, that's cool, that's good. I go, hey Siri, play Disney music, after she reads me my mom's text message, and Siri starts playing Tangled. And as it's playing Tangled, before actually the moon was out, and then it was playing.
Yeah, you didn't say the Britney Spears thing.
The Britney Spears song. If you know the Glory album for Britney Spears, she has a song called Man on the Moon, and it's literally about falling in love with somebody who's like far away, but you still like have love for them. There's so many challenges. And as I open my sunroof, the moon is out at like fucking 4:30 in the afternoon.
So it's still like daylight,
which is fucking crazy.
And I was like, yeah, bullshit. So she sends me photos.
And I took a picture because I knew that this was
proof.
I had to have proof, because even if I didn't tell him, I still wanted to believe in myself, because everybody wants to believe in like fairy tales and fate, but like I was low key like kind of embarrassed to tell him. So the picture was for me initially. I just was like, what the fuck? So before the tangle even happened, Man on the Moon was playing. As I was thinking about him, I just opened my sunroof, and there there was the moon. And I was like, why is it out so early today? It was just a beautiful coincidence. And then my mom sends me the text. I'm like, okay, cool. It's all good. I'm not scared of a thunderstorm. You know, it's all cool. Start driving through rain while it's bright, sunny out with the moon. So it's just a lot of weird shit going on with the weather that day. And then the song I See the Light from Tangled and everything starts playing or whatever.
So, simply put, what she's saying is fucking after bowling, she was driving, she said, hey Siri, play Disney on shuffle.
Yeah.
And then remember how I said before, Tangled and Aladdin on a rainy day, favorite Disney movies? As she was driving, she said, hey Siri, play Disney songs on shuffle. And then Tangled comes on and it starts raining. And it starts raining.
Immediately, that's when the rain
clear.
starts.
It was clear skies and it started raining. And then wasn't it fucking stop? Now my Siri's going off.
And immediately it was so weird because, like I said, my mom let me know I was about to drive into the rain, but I didn't drive into it until the Tangled song started. So I felt like it was all supposed to happen in that moment exactly when it happened.
And then,
like, it was just crazy.
And then you were driving, isn't this right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
And then you were driving, and then fucking, so you're listening to Tangled, you're like, oh, shock, whatever. That could have been a coincidence. That's just like, okay, play a random song. Okay, the Tangled songs go hard. Like, that could have just been, Siri, like, putting it on.
Yeah, because...
But then, here's where it gets crazy. 2 movies, right? We said Tangled, we said Aladdin, right? So then this is what happens. It's raining, blah, blah, blah. As soon as the Tangled song finishes... as soon as the Tangled song finishes, it stops raining, and then A Whole New World from Aladdin comes on. Is that right?
Yes.
A whole new world. And then the crazy thing is, I said Aladdin, and then that was the only song in our call that I sang.
That was the only one.
Oh yeah, I remember in my play I was singing A Whole New World, and then I awkwardly went over like this on the stage, and then all the audience was like, ooh, and I was like, I went bright red because I was like 8 years old. So I didn't know what I was doing. So that was the only song I sang, and this song comes on right after the Tangled song, and then the rain just stops out of nowhere. What the fuck?
So, yeah, I pulled it back to my house, and then by the time I'm pulling it back to my house, the sun is still out. So now it's just extra sunny. The rain has stopped. I'm like turning my car off, and A Whole New World from Aladdin starts playing. And I literally remember sitting back and going, like, bullshit. Like, oh, they're honking a lot outside. But I was just like, what the fuck? There's no way. And to me, I think it was like, I think at that point, it wasn't a coincidence anymore. And I was trying to brush it off, and the universe and God was just like, girl, like, fucking pay attention. Like, stop it. And I don't know. I just tried to brush it off because I was like scared of getting hurt or throwing myself into something. And he wasn't all the way into it. But deep down, I had this feeling. I just knew he was so different. I just knew he was on the same page as me. So I get home that night. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if I should, we're talking. So this time he texts me again, and I was so happy. I was praying he would like want to talk to me again because I had such a good time on the phone. And he goes, hey, how was your brother's birthday? So I'm like, yes, if he remembers my brother at a party today, he actually gives a fuck. So the fact that he texted me was like, how was his party? I was like, oh, it was so good, and things like that. And we're talking about it. And then I kind of cut to the chase, and I'm like, do you believe in signs and stuff? Because if he didn't, then I wasn't going to tell him. I was just going to let it go, and we could talk about his day or something of that nature. And he was like 110%, and I was not expecting that response. So then I went, ooh, and he was like, you got to tell me. Like, he already knew I had something to tell him, which
and you were acting light skinned. You weren't telling me.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, like, I'll wait. Like, if this conversation goes good, I'll wait to tell you. Like, I truly was trying to see if he was in it like I was, because I didn't have time to fuck around. Like, if you like me, like me. If you don't, you don't. I wasn't bullshitting. Like, and I don't really have time for the talking stages anymore. I just kind of getting tired of it at that point. So I was like, we'll see. Yeah, I was like, we'll see if he really cares. And so then he texted me again, and he goes, don't leave me hanging. You have to tell me. So he already knew I had something to say. And foreshadowing.
Yeah, you kept saying like, oh, I'll tell you in 2 weeks if this is still happening.
Yes.
I was like, no. Tell me right now.
And now in our relationship, Jack always makes sure to ask me what I'm not saying, what I'm trying to hide. If I say something, but it's surface level, he always reads me, like like 10 more like levels under. It's very beautiful, and I'm very appreciative. So he's the same way. So he asked me, he was like, what's up? And then I said, well, I had some weird coincidences today with the Tangled movie and Aladdin and the baseball and the moon, and he's just like, what the fuck? So I send him pictures, and I remember sending like 4 voice messages, and he was speechless. He literally was like, I don't know, is it like some Disney Channel shit? I can't believe this.
Mr. Stark.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Like, Jack was speechless. It was beautiful. It was so cute. It was innocent. It was genuine. And that's the one thing that I'll say about our relationship is like, everything was so innocent and rare, and still is, because it was very new for us, and we both were ready but didn't know we were, because we weren't looking for something super serious at that point. And it didn't feel super serious. It just felt easy. It just felt like we knew each other years, prior.
Yeah.
So yeah.
100%.
I told him about the signs, and he sent me a voice message, and he just didn't have anything to say. He was so happy.
My voice message was silent.
Yeah, his voice message was a minute long. The longest Instagram lets you record, and he barely said 5 words. It was so fucking funny. He just was like, I don't know what to say. So then, yeah. So then he ends up telling me that he had signs as well, and that he didn't want to tell me also because he thought it was crazy, and I thought I was crazy. So we both, it was perfect. We both felt the exact same fucking way. And then he told me about the video.
So, remember how I said I did push-ups, whatever, did my 75.
Oh, wait, I have to tell them. After I said the signs, I exclaimed to him, at this point, it's about 3 a.m, and I text him verbatim, and I go, I'm never up at 3:40 a.m. This is so funny.
Yeah.
And then he goes,
Okay, handball. It's an Australian reference. If you know AFL, it's an Australian reference.
Go. So then he goes,
Oh. And back to me. Oh.
because that's a vital part. I'm never up at that time. I said that's a vital part.
So get this right. So then we're talking, and she's like, out of nowhere, oh, Rex, you okay, boy? Good boy. So we're talking, and then we're like, holy shit, this is crazy, whatever. For me, it's like, I don't know, 7 or something. I can't remember the time exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But then she messages me, and she's never said an exact time.
Ever.
We haven't been speaking for that long. So, I mean, it's not that much background to go on at this stage. But she ends up messaging me after this whole thing. We'll speak for maybe like 2 hours, and like just in shock about these signs, whatever.
We would text for hellas.
Just text, like just voice messages.
We used to text for hellas. We still do, but damn, we used to text for hours without looking at anything else.
And then, so she messaged me, and she's like, I don't know, at the end of like all these messages and shit, she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm awake at 3:40 right now. And I'm like, oh my God.
Why was it so specific? It was just meant to happen.
You never said a time. You never said, I can't believe I'm up this late. You could have said that.
That's what everybody, it was so fucking specific.
Anyway, 3:40, right?
Yeah.
Remember, the night before brother's birthday, I did my push-ups, I meditated 3:40, and I made this video. This video saying like, oh my God, this girl might be the one, like holy shit, whatever. At 3:40, and then I look back on, because I made it on Snapchat, so I look back at the time on my Snapchat, I made the video at 3:40, and in the video, I even say like, oh my God, it's 3:40 right now, and I'm making this video. I'm like, you would not, as if you just said it's 3:40, and keep this in mind, she's in America, so technically she said this message at the exact same time I made the video, because it's the next day. So it's the 14th, but for her it's still the 13th. It's the 14th, but at 3:40. Right? So it's the exact same time I made this video technically for her that she messaged me, says, oh my God, I can't believe I'm up at 3:40. So I'm like, oh my fucking God, you won't believe this. And then I am like, okay, I didn't want to show you this until like, if we've been talking for a while. We've only been talking for a couple of days, like whatever.
Literally, it's only been like fucking 72 hours.
Yeah. So then I'm like, so I sent her this video, and she's like in shock with this video, because I don't know. To me, it was just me speaking from the heart, but
genuinely,
I guess you really liked the video. Your mom liked the video.
My mom cried.
And now, like, that's how she like showed her family me, is from this video.
And they all knew from the video, because Jack was so genuine, and you could see his shock in the video, because in the video Jack is looking up at the ceiling and he's looking to the side because he's like, this girl, I don't know what this is, but this is just right. I gotta talk to her again. Like, I'm just gonna document this if something happens. And now we're together. I've flown 10,000 miles to meet him, and he has been nothing but great and reassuring, and my Prince Charming, and got me tiaras and Krispy Kreme whenever I wanted
Hey,
it.
you just ruined the surprises for when you come down here.
What?
All the presents. That's the next stage. There's too many layers to this.
There's so many layers. So yes, that was the video I showed my family to initially introduce them to Jack, because it was very inexplainable, and we both knew it was crazy, especially because we're young. I'm 19, he's 22. It was just like, how do you find something like that so young?
How does she know
Like-
that you love her?
I couldn't believe it. And I honestly, I'm like, oh, I got my shit together. I got my apartment, and I'm focused, and I'm still going to Cali a lot for work and events and fucking red carpet. So I just wasn't thinking too much about what it could be. I just thought, oh, he's cute and he'll probably ghost me. Like, I genuinely thought that. I said, if we have and because our first conversation went so good, I thought it was actually going to go bad. I literally thought, oh, we're not going to have another FaceTime. That's what I genuinely thought because of previous experiences. But he showed me the complete opposite and has raised my standards up to here. But yeah, he made a video to himself that night.
I'm going to see if I can find this video.
Okay. He made a video to himself that night. After Jack sent me the video, I remember almost crying at my phone. I genuinely remember almost crying at my phone. I watched the video probably 12 times. It was insane. I knew I had to tell my mom, because in my heart, I knew in that moment when I heard him, within the first 3 seconds of the video, Jack goes, Jack, you just talked to this girl, Nia, on the phone for like, you just got off a 4-hour phone call, something of that, like that. And I knew I was going to come to Australia. Like, I already knew. In that moment, it was...
Okay, I found the video.
Oh.
Okay, I guess I'll show you guys a video. I'll put the video up now. Let's watch the video again. Okay? I'll put the video up over the screen.
Jack, it's 3:40 in the morning. You just got off a 3-hour phone call with me. And, bro, I think she might be the one. I think the universe connected us for a reason. This chick ticks literally every single one of my boxes. I mean, I still don't know 100%, but it's crazy. It's like the universe just like connected us for a reason. This is fucking insane, man. I've never vibed with someone as well as I vibed with this girl. She's just on the same level as me. I don't know how to fucking describe it, but I just feel so connected with her. And we'll see what happens. I just gotta make this because it'd be funny to watch it back later if something does actually happen. So I'm doing it right now.
You have to make one right now and be like, so something happens.
That's what this is.
Yeah. So something.
So, as you can see from this video, I was just speechless. I don't know what to do. Some voice, this always happens, the best things in my life, it happens when I meditate, and then like some voice, it's not even my voice, it's some voice comes from beyond, I don't know, it tells me to do something.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it told me to do this video, and then this has been a big part of our story. But then this happened, and then we were talking, and then another reason when after we were talking, like, holy shit, this is crazy, like, blah, blah, blah. I think there was a few other signs. I can't remember the other signs, but I remember, like, I was like, holy shit, this girl is really sick. She read me, like, she created these fairy tales. What girl does fairy tales? Like, what the hell?
I've never.
And you should do this. I'm saying this right now on YouTube. You should do these fairy tales on YouTube.
So other
Okay.
people can have them.
She is so talented when it comes to like creating stories and like making a whole scene and whatever. I think it's because you've watched so many Disney movies and shit growing up that you can make all these characters.
Yeah.
I remember she made this one story. I was going away camping, and she made this whole like production. She edited it and everything. Called the Pink Mountain because I was going camping, and she put my whole family in there. She called my dad in there. My dad in the story was King Rod because his name's Rod. She talks about Rex all the time, that's not my penis. That's the dog I'm talking about right now.
Oh yeah, you're like pointing down.
Yeah, talks about Rex. Talks about my mum. Has even in the story, she even put my sister's attitude because my sister's a bit sassy.
I love it.
Attitude.
She's like the baddest.
She called my brother. I told her my brother has a drunk alter ego name, and then she even put like an alter ego name in the story as well. And she came up with this in like 2 seconds.
Everything is always improv whenever I make fairy tales for Jack. Because Jack asked me to make them on the spot, so. Clearly it's improv because he had told me, hey, we're going camping. And then he was like, I want a fairy tale for when I'm camping. So I would make the
fairy tale. Doesn't sound tough. I just say story.
A fairy tale. And I would upload these fairy tales to Google Drive so Jack could have them outside of text messages because he wasn't going to have reception. So I came up with it on the spot and I said, this is going to be the best fairy tale I've done. And Pink Mountain, I think that one was like the awesomest because like throwing all his family in there. It was just like, I just came to my heart. I was like, oh, let me do this. And then like doing his sister's part and putting her little sass in there. That part was funny. And then making his brother's like drunk alter ego that he told me about. His brother's name is Dean. So I was like, oh, let's do Gene. And then in the story, he's Jean Jacket whenever he starts drinking.
Yeah, his alter ego is Jacket. So.
Yeah, and it was just perfect. It was funny. And I think Jack knew he was in love with me right there.
I was like, holy shit.
I remember him texting me going, baby, I'm speechless. And he just kept sending separate text messages. Like I could feel him processing through it. Was like 10 separate text messages, but it was one fucking sentence, but he was separating it bit by bit by bit, like as his mind was saying. It was super cute. I appreciated it.
So at this stage, for the first like week or two, whatever, we were talking like every day, like, and I had to wait till I think it was like 9 o'clock my time because then that was 7 in the morning.
And you would search up Missouri time.
Yeah, and then we would FaceTime until like, well, for me it was the early hours of the morning. For her it was just like till the afternoon, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then we'd FaceTime like every single day for multiple hours. Then it didn't feel like it got boring, like at all.
Never.
And then
we would say bye and then stay on the phone for another 3 hours.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I need to go edit.
And he would stay on the phone till 5 a.m. There were mornings where he would be up till 5 a.m.
I have narcolepsy. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically a sleeping condition, which basically means I need fucking sleep. Right? So I prioritize my sleep so much. I need to get my 8 hours. I always go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. I was going to bed at fucking 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Like, what the hell? And I didn't even realize the time. That doesn't happen.
And I'm
asleep by fucking like 11.
I would feel so bad. I'd be like, what the fuck? But Jack would be the one that's like, okay, bye, I gotta go. And then he would go, oh, and by the way, like he would start another conversation. So then it was just like, okay, and I'm not gonna say no because I had a huge crush on him. Still do.
And then, hey,
Daddy.
And then we're talking. She made the stories. She went a bit cray when I was away for the weekend because I didn't have any reception. So then she was
shut the fuck up.
She was going crazy. I came back when I finally got reception, and there was like my phone was blown up with like 50 billion messages.
You loved it. He wanted me to text him while he was away.
I loved it. And I came back. I was like, oh,
she cares.
We always do that. We
always finish each other's sandwiches.
That's what I was gonna say.
I never met someone who thinks so much like me.
Jinx again.
So yeah, we always do that.
But so then I came back, yada yada, and I was like, I don't know. I think did I say it as a joke or you said it? I was like, oh, so when you coming here? And then this was after like 2-3 weeks. And then is that how long? Was it after the second week you booked the flight, or how long was it?
Oh yeah, the flight was originally I was going to come April 25th through May 1st, and I believe I booked that probably April 1st, and then by No, maybe it was late
So remember,
March.
we started talking
March 11th. And so, in March 11th, we both knew. So, you knew after the first phone call, or did you know after our first, our initial conversation on DM?
I knew there was something there from the first phone call.
I knew there was something there from the first phone call. I knew I wanted to continue. Like, I hoped there was something there after he exclaimed to me in the early DMs that he loved Meet the Robinsons, and that was his second favorite Disney movie, and that was my second favorite. It was
We should
Tangled.
watch that tonight.
Yes, it was Tangled, Meet the Robinsons, and Princess and the
Let's watch
Frog
that
for
tonight.
me.
We'll watch Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah, we will.
After
okay.
this. Cool.
Okay. So that's what it was for me. So I remember him sending a voice message and going, "You're fucking with me. You're lying. We don't have the same." And I said, "Oh yeah, I do. I promise you. I had a crush on the boy, the jet black hair boy, and Meet the Robinsons, and he looks like him to me." So I went, "Oh, I'm telling you the truth." And I knew right there that I wanted to call him. But yeah, definitely fairy tales and everything was a huge thing that I hadn't done that I wanted to do with somebody. And so when he reciprocated back that he liked it, and then Jack ended up reading me fairy tales, he ended up buying me my favorite fairy tale, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I really was lucky. I knew I was lucky to snag him up. And he got to snag me up too. So
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. But
it was beautiful.
So yeah, we were talking. It was maybe after like 2-3 weeks you booked the flight.
Yeah, I knew.
She booked it for like April 25th, and I was like, it's not happening.
And
no
he
way.
like eased into it at first. He was like, "Oh my god,
right,
yay!"
cool.
And then after like 2 days, I don't know who brought it up, but one of us brought it up, and then I remember saying, "Yeah, I thought that was too late too." So Jack must have brought it up, and I was like, "Yeah, I felt like that was too late. I need to get there earlier." Like.
So that means you would have came here only a week ago.
Right. And now I've been here for almost a month. Like we legit could not wait to see each other.
So
it was bad in a beautiful way. It was bad it was bad. So it went from me coming April 25th, and mind you, I was going to leave May 1st. So I was going to come April 25th, stay for like 5 days and jet out. Don't know why I thought that, but I just thought, hey, I'll go there and see what it's like. At least I'll get out the country. You know, I genuinely was just trying to see where this was going to go. It was cool, and I knew I was falling in love, but we hadn't said that yet, but kind of, but not really, because it was
we're
crazy.
saying, because I'm Spanish, we're saying on the phone, we're like, te quiero, te amo. But I told her, I was like, I don't want to say anything until I see you in person.
Mm-hmm. And then he's like, that's why we'll know the universe. Because then there were so many other signs happening. It was like, Rex farted.
No, that was me. No,
you did? I always hear it. You always tell me, but
so she ended up coming. Started talking March 11th. She ended up coming here. The date, I just looked at my calendar then. The date that she came here was April 12th.
Yes.
So it was a Friday in the morning. She ended up booking this apartment. You can view my other videos and shit, because I'm sure I'm going to upload the little vlogs and stuff. I just looked at the clips. Since she's been here, I've recorded 250 clips. So
if that's not love, I don't know.
Yeah. So I want to capture all of this. This is insane. But so I'm going to make like videos on like a little process along the way. But
yes.
Basically, from that day, she ended up coming here April 12th, and then beforehand when she came here, I was like, holy shit, this is sick. What the fuck is going on? I was trying to stay like normal and everything like that.
He thought I almost catfished him because I got held up in the airport.
Yeah, but before that, what I did, I ended up going on Shein, and because Tangled was our favorite thing, I ended up buying the floating lanterns and shit. So that's what we just did tonight, this floating lantern. And then I ended up buying a bunch of rose petals and balloons in our favorite
beautiful
color. And I got, was it 6 gifts? 5 or 6 gifts?
Yeah, I think it was 6.
And then so what I did, I got into the place beforehand, so I ended up calling the people from the Airbnb she booked. And then I was like, hey, can I come in beforehand? Whatever. They were super chill. They were awesome. So I ended up going in beforehand at like 6, 7 in the morning, and then I ended up like setting up the place, rose petals everywhere. The presents on the bed.
He was the best,
everywhere.
The best.
And then I went to the airport, and as I'm driving to the airport after setting all this up, I'm calling her, and she's like having a normal conversation. I hang up, like, okay, I'll call you when I get to the airport, which is in like 5-10 minutes. Anyway, I call her and she's not answering. So I pull up in the parking lot and she's not answering. I call her like 5-10 times, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I just got catfished.
Whatever.
What is this?
Whatever.
Yeah, I was like, I just got
He was
catfished. And she
freaking
kept, and then I was like, Nia. And then I ended up making like a video
Didn't
to
you
myself.
text my mom?
Yeah,
Your
and then I
mom
ended up,
texted me?
So I have a mum on Instagram. So I ended up like DMing her mum, like saying, hey, what's up?
Right, and her mom, my mom was like,
and then she's like, oh my God, yeah, is she okay? Oh my God. So she was like, talking to the auntie and said something about how she's gone through customs or something like that.
Yes.
So they took her phone, so she couldn't talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then she ends up calling me, and then like I'm in the parking lot, and I'm like, oh, like I don't know if I can park here. The guy's trying to tell me like, oh, hey, are you waiting for someone? Like, what's up? He's like, up my ass about moving. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm kind of like stressed out. So much shit happening. If you've ever been to an airport, you know how chaotic it is.
and I'm in a bright red outfit, and I'm
And
like,
then
just look for
I
me.
tell her,
So
Nia
I'm
is
walking
the
out
most
now.
oblivious person you ever meet. Because when she walks around in places, she's just like, la, 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 la. She's just like in her own world kind of thing. So she's there, and I'm like telling her exactly where to go, and she's like, what? And like I'd say move right, she goes left. kind of thing.
Yes,
Like, you know.
no, literally.
So I'm like, I have to FaceTime her, get out of the car, show her exactly where to go.
And I'm still in
Meanwhile,
shock, though,
this
babe.
guy-
I was
yeah.
still in shock. Like, I was like, there's no way I fucking got on because when you explain it, it does sound crazy. We've known each other for exactly 1 month at this point, and it was so crazy. I didn't even plan the flight or anything like that. We started speaking March 11th. I flew out April 10th, and I got to him his April 12th, but it would have been my March 11th back home. It was exactly 30. It was the universe, it was God, and it was love. I was like, I didn't even know it was like a 1 month anniversary of talking, and we're now like already feeling like we're together and married, and yeah, so it was crazy to even think I was right there across the street from him, trying to find him now 16 hours ahead in an entire different country.
The time thing confuses me.
Yeah.
That's so confusing.
Yeah.
But
You're
basically,
in the future.
this happens. This guy's freaking me out. I call her. She finally answers. She's in the spot. She's like, I'm here. Next to this spot I was next to. I was like, I do not see you. And then I'm like looking around, and then I finally see her. She's in this bright red outfit. I'm like, oh my God, it's her. And then I'm walking up, and I'm like, Nia. And she's still like looking around oblivious, like doesn't know where I am.
Shut the hell up.
And then she's like, oh my God. And then she's trying to like run towards me with her 2 suitcases and awkwardly like running into things and shit. And then,
Such a geek.
and then we see each other, and then we just like hug.
And I
Like,
remember Jack going, as if you're really here. He's
yeah,
so
I was like,
Australian.
holy shit.
He couldn't fucking believe
This
it.
is sick.
Yeah, this is sick. I remember that was one of the first things I told him in our voice. But that's when I knew if we weren't gonna be like talking, I knew we were gonna be good friends because our banter was so fucking immediate. I remember sending him a voice message and go, yeah, I noticed that you say it's sick a lot. And then he goes, well, now I'm gonna be self-conscious about that. And we were cracking up. I'm like driving, sending this random Australian boy voice messages and like laughing so hard because Jack is the funniest person I know. And I'm like, because he just kept saying, it's sick. So yeah, it was definitely sick, babe, for sure.
It was definitely sick. Okay, that's great. But anyway, I see her, we
He
hug
loves
for
it.
ages, and I'm like freaking out. So I can't because I have this guy who's telling me to move my
Yeah,
car.
so I
that's in the
remember-
back of my mind, and she's thinking probably I'm so stressed out, like what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like kind of like I have to worry about.
Yeah, like he's like hugging me and shit. And I remember Jack going, okay, we have to go.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to like move it along kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like I still want to enjoy the moment.
So then
we end up getting in the car, we're like, holy shit. And then as we're driving back to the place, she's like this on me like the whole time. She's literally like this as I'm driving.
I couldn't let you go. I just couldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
And you were like, and I was like, am I doing too much? And you were like, no, like,
Yeah, I was
don't let me go.
I was like, it just feels right. And then we get
There
to
was
the
no
place.
awkward phase.
No.
Either,
So
by the
we
way.
basically went straight from messaging to seeing each other in person to now we've lived together for the last month. Like, and it hasn't been awkward
Legit
at all.
lived. Like,
Besides-
he hasn't gone back home to stay the night at his house or something
haven't.
like once. Like,
She's-
we've gone to see his parents and stuff, but he hasn't like been like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my house. Like, you probably would usually be like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my house for a couple days, stuff like. No, we've lived together and learned each other this last month.
Yep.
Yes.
Like I learned that Nia is a bit confusing with the washing. She likes to put everything in the dryer so all the clothes shrink. I've learned that. I've learned that the dishwasher, you load it in a very weird way. I've also learned that. I've learned that apparently I need to wash my hands every 2 seconds as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've learned that Jack is very, very organized, especially when it comes to the clothes. He is very hands-on with his work. But the clothes is something. I mean, he will have a shirt on a hanger, and then the shirt is folded inside of the sleeve, and the sleeve in the bottom is folded inside of this, and then this and that and that, and it's like a perfect, beautiful diamond of a piece of cloth. And I'm like, what the fuck? Just throw the hoodie in the motherfucking closet.
She's just throwing her clothes,
and I'm
in the
just
drawer.
like, here we go.
How?
We're done. This is over and done with.
She takes hours trying to find her clothes every time.
You're
like,
right.
Boom. Here's the system. We've got the flannels here. We've got the shirts in coloured order here. Then we've got the jumpers here. Then the jackets in this section. It's all lined up. I've got my shorts rolled up in this section. In this drawer is my tank tops over here. Then we got the jeans, and then we got the tracksuits, separate piles.
See, too much. Like but it's funny because back at home I do have my stuff folded in my dresser, but my closet and everything is like freelance.
How?
Like, it's just because, like, why even bother? It's like a closet. And my closet, when you guys see it at my house, it's a tall ass big closet, so you know it's like cool. But Jack is very organized. He does not mind doing the dishes and shit like that. Like, he loves like making sure like the space is like clear, which I really appreciate about him. I'll probably go in behind him and spray and stuff like that. He doesn't let me hold bags. He's very chivalrous, even in person. Over the phone, through our phone calls, I could tell he loved to be goofy and silly and didn't mind like tapping into like, you know, like just like awesome like side of him. Like, he never like was like too serious about life, but he was then at the same time he was super fucking driven and chivalrous. And I was like, damn, this is like the perfect balance that I've always wanted, but I just didn't know I was gonna like get it right now. And then he was the same way in person. I mean, like, I don't have to worry about nothing. And then he would like give me this sign, saying, and just to like shut my brain off. And I had never heard that before. And I was like, huh? And so when we go out, he's like, shut your brain off. Have a good time. Don't worry. I got us. If something happens, if you need to carry something, we get something, I have it. Like, stop it. And I'm like, what? I'm so used to being independent and handling my shit. But he's literally like husband. Like, I'm like, cool. Like, I could just go be a girl. And then when I come home, like, the only thing I really have to do is, like, make sure this guy's stomach is full. And that's it. That's literally it. And then I'm, like, chill. Like, I get to, like, literally. That's the only thing he ever asked for is, like, food. And then everything else, he's like, let me handle it. And I'm like, perfect.
Everything else,
cool.
just I'll handle. Like, I do not have a problem handling anything else.
Yeah.
But Nia, before she met me, she never cooked. She never did any of that.
Ever, because I was living on my own.
She DoorDashed everything. All her mom cooked all her meals.
You ask everybody. I spent hundreds of, almost like thousands of dollars on fucking Chipotle.
And then I'll show you a picture.
That's so fucking
I'll
bad.
show you a picture of the meals Nia's been cooking since she's been.
I mean,
wait. We'll do a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Bria. Oh, the picture. These are gonna be all the pictures, right?
So then she's cooking all these meals, and this is one of the things that I love about Nia is that you say something, if she doesn't know how to do it, then she'll figure it out, which is like something that I do myself. I've never had someone who like reciprocates that.
Exactly.
So it's just like it's awesome when you don't know a trait. That you don't know how to do something and you're like, don't worry, I'll learn it. Even with my number, like when we were trying to FaceTime,
he thought that was such a big turn on for him.
She gave me her phone number because she's got an American number. I'm from Australia. Then like I couldn't FaceTime her. It went to like, oh, message declined, whatever. I was like, oh, all right, whatever. Like I'll leave it. And then the next day I ended up getting like a FaceTime from this random number. Like what the hell? And then she ends up telling me this whole story. Which what happened? You tell them.
So basically, he has an Australian number, and Jack sent me his number as he would send it to somebody in Australia. So Jack sent me the Australian number without the +61. So when I tried to type in his regular number, let's like say like it's like 524 or something. It wasn't coming up, and it was saying I couldn't send him an iMessage. I texted him first to test the number, wasn't going through, and I went, I'm not taking no for an answer. And I knew I had to FaceTime him. So while he was like at work or something, that's what I was doing back at home. Like I was like figuring something like out to fucking get this iMessage to go through. So I ended up searching up the Australian area code, seeing how to get it through, especially from an American number. And I was like, why isn't this working? So then I put his phone number in with the +61 this time, because I searched up Australian code, the zip codes or whatever you would call it. And I was like, ooh, let me try this 61. That's what ended up working. So I sent the iMessage again. This time it was blue. The first time it was green. And then it said the recipient didn't receive it. And I was like, I know he didn't give me a fake number. And so that was my other thing. I was like, fuck, he probably gave me a fake number because he isn't ready to like actually FaceTime. So then I'm like, no. And he's still in person. He's a straightforward ass person. Jack has never once lied to me, or if he's feeling something, he'll tell me. I'm the one that goes, oh, I don't know. Like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Jack never tells me, oh, no, don't worry. He'll tell me like straight off the bone what he's feeling. And I really do appreciate that, because I'm a problem solver person and so is he. So I remember doing the number and I was like, that doesn't work. Figured it out, searched it up for like 10 minutes. And then I ended up finding the 61 plus and did it. It went through. And I remember Jack texting me on Instagram and I went, hey, did you get my message? And he was like, what iMessage? And he goes, in all caps, oh my God, I just saw it. Did you really? So then he texts me on iMessage, did you really just do this and figure it out and pay for an international number? I was like, oh no, I didn't pay for anything. I just went and researched it and like geeked the fuck out for 15 minutes and figured out how to text you, because I don't take no for an answer. And he thought that was so hot.
That's something I don't know if you know about Nia. She has her funny side, her baddie side, whatever, but she also has the biggest geek side. Like, actually, so the formula is She has so many different dimensions, which is awesome.
That's a good way to explain it.
Yeah, a lot of character.
So that was like one of the for me, that was one of our first like big like turn on moments, I think, was like me like not taking no for an answer. And then when I said that, I remember him responding and being like, hell yeah. Oh my God. He was just like, hell yeah. Oh my God. I love that. Like, you're so bold. Like, I love that you just say what's on your mind. And like in our DMs, he would tell me like, I love that you just say what's on your mind. And I was like, I think it's just an American girl thing. Like, you haven't just talked to anybody from America, because everybody's kind of like that over there. But me, I can say I'm more funny with how straightforward I am. But at the same time, I'm about my shit, because I'm like still young, but I had to like get my own and work for myself, and I work for myself now, so I have a different aspect to it. And Jack thought that was so hot. He was like, oh my gosh. And then he saw my geeky side, and I would talk about Marvel and Disney and Broadway and shit. And he was like, oh my God,
that only got a 6.2 on the IMDb rating.
Yeah,
God.
I would go off for ran about an hour about like Alvin and the Chipmunks and how IMDb is like unfairly rating Alvin and the Chipmunks too. Like, what the fuck? And Jack would be like, keep going. And just like egging me on. So we fell in love so fast. And I remember my dad calling me, and he was like, why haven't you been calling me recently and everything? And my family and my friends already knew that I was definitely talking to somebody important. And my last relationship was about a year ago, but they hadn't seen me like this since. So they were like, what is going on with Nia? And I was very cold-hearted before I met Jack. I just was kind of done with the whole trying to really talk to people thing. So I thought he was cute, shot my shot. I didn't expect it to go anywhere. Maybe it would just be another fling. And my mom and my dad were like, you're not a bitch anymore. What's going on? Like, you're not being a bitch anymore. And that's when they knew that I was definitely
They were thanking me.
Yeah, mom was like, thanks for bringing my daughter back. My dad was like, this guy's got to be special. He's definitely awesome, because I always talked to my parents. We're very close. They're like my best friends. So for me to go like almost 4 or 5 days without like FaceTiming them or like blowing up their phone, be like, oh, what y'all doing? What you're up to? they knew somebody. I had to have a crush on somebody. There was no way they had seen me that quiet with them before. They were like, who the fuck has
funny. It was
snagged her up?
It was so funny with her when she was here. She FaceTimed her dad and was like, "Oh my god, Dad, look what I made or whatever. Look with this."
I cooked
and
when
the
I
very
cooked.
first day, I'll show you a picture now. Bang, this one. So the very first day that we're there, Nia makes me
Homemade.
Let's see if I remember it. It was
you got it.
brioche, so it's French toast with strawberries, blueberries, bacon, eggs, and a banana. I think there was a banana there as well. And she gave me are you talking about the milk?
The sauteed mushrooms.
Oh, and the mushrooms. Yeah, I love mushrooms. So she ends up making this thing. And then she gives me a glass of milk and a glass of water as well because she didn't know which one I liked. So then she's telling her dad about it. She's like, "Oh, I did this." And then I'm telling the dad about what she just made me. Like, holy shit, this is insane. And then he's like, "All right, player." He's like, he's like, "Hold on, player." He's like, "Milk and water."
My dad.
All right, player.
He was like, "You."
And keep in mind, her dad has never seen her cook a day in her life.
A day in.
So he was in shock.
The first thing he said was, "Wow," and he was speechless. So we're cracking up, and my dad just being like, and then he's like, "You cooked," and then he was like, "Homemade brioche." Like, I made the brioche from scratch. I didn't just go buy French toast and you throw it in the microwave and warm it up. It's already, it's like freezer French toast. I got the brioche bread and the cinnamon and the nutmeg and the sugar and the milk and the eggs and whisked it and and dipped it. And yeah, I just wanted it to be good and nice and like warm. And I just was happy to make him like feel good. So that's when I knew I was falling in love. I was like, "Oh, I'm so excited to do this and that and the third." And I've never done it before. And then that's when my dad was like, "Okay, player, like, damn, like you really got it." So then my dad,
Hold on, player.
talked to me privately.
I see you, player.
Yeah, he was like, "I see you," and so then my dad talked to me privately. He was just like, "Wow, like I'm just so happy that you're happy. Like this is good." And coincidentally enough, the same day we started talking is the same day my dad got me my passport. Before I even met Jack. I only met Jack through my friend's Instagram story, so the story wasn't even uploaded by the time my dad got me my passport. He just had a feeling that we should get it at this certain place that he knew about for quick passports that morning, because I had spoke about getting it months prior. So it was just perfect timing, God's timing, like universe, like the invisible string theory. I believe in that shit 135%. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And so now we're here.
We're here. Tonight's the last night. What's the date today?
Should be May 3rd.
May 3rd.
Yes,
Tonight,
Friday.
We just lit the lanterns. Asked Nita to be my girlfriend. And she said yes.
Of course I said yes.
Booyah.
He's so... Oh.
Ooh.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Was that good? Was that a good sneeze?
Yes, it was.
Okay, good.
Sorry, Rex. I woke you up.
Beautiful, beautiful person. Very blessed to know him and experience this. And this month in Melbourne has been nothing short of amazing, eye-opening, warm. He got me out of my creative rut. Jack is stepping back into acting and really working for himself. And I've been working for myself, and now I'm stepping back into the other element of what I do for work, which is social media. And I'm getting ready to sign with new agencies and get into TV. It's just been, my phone time went down by like 60%. It's just been like, I vividly
60%.
Remember.
But to be fair, her phone time before was like 13, 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're just around any person, it sounds like you didn't have much social interaction with people outside of...
No, I did.
being
If I would
alone.
go out with the girls, but remember my sisters
How
had
do you
like...
have 13 hours of
My
screen
sisters would
time?
have school and work, and everybody in my family goes out to school and work. So I'm the only one at home. So if I wasn't talking to Jack, I wasn't really talking to anybody besides my friends up in LA and shit. So I was always on my phone. So even if I'm just on my phone to talk to people, it was still running up phone time. I'm not just sitting on TikTok for 13 hours. I'm usually on the phone with people, but Yeah, that's how it is. I just work from home.
13 hours.
So he has just been everything I've needed and then some and more. And I can't believe the trip's coming to an end, but it's been awesome falling in love with the boy from Australia, 10,000 miles away from my
And
hometown.
awesome, falling in love with the girl from America.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought that would happen?
Yeah, so if you're young and you're like looking for love or something, I say don't just try to look for it. It'll fall in your lap. And I know I didn't believe in the when you least expect this shit because I didn't really give a fuck. But if I'm being honest, guys, it's literally when you're
pursuing your own path, when you're doing what you need to be doing for yourself.
yeah,
then
when
the
you're
right
doing what
person
you
will
need
come.
to be doing for yourself,
Like
what you
this-
need.
For
be doing.
you're doing your whole TikTok, you're doing your brand deals, you're doing everything
Events,
like that. Events, everything.
Yeah, red carpets.
You're doing all that. This shit only happened for me since I started taking like what I really want to do seriously,
Yeah.
which is content creation.
And now it's gotten
And
even more
building a community.
serious.
It's gotten even
and
more
amazing
serious.
since I've
But-
been here with you.
Yeah, because you bring out the best in me, the best ideas and everything. That's another thing that I've really like learned since Nia's been here is Nia helps. If you ever get the privilege of getting to know Nia Ivy, who I can now say is my girlfriend, if you ever get the privilege of knowing Nia, you realize that she brings up the people around her. She'll go into a situation and she'll find ways to make you a better person, find out ways where you're sort of selling yourself short, and she'll like help you trying to like look at it from a new perspective, or like give you like immense confidence in yourself and say you're doing really good at these things. And just the way she praises you with things, it's like no one, well, at least for me personally, it's like the way no one's ever like praised before, because it's so genuine and authentic. And it's just, and even with like ideas and stuff like that, with me, I'm an ideas person, and so is
Yes.
she. And it's just something I'm just like, I'm mind blown for, because I come up with something, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do this, or I'm like thinking about this one way, and she's like, oh, actually you could try doing it like this way instead. I'm like, holy shit, that's like a really good idea. Like, oh my god. It's
Yeah.
like, it's insane. And then Nia as well, there's another thing. She stimulates my mind, she's nurturing, loving, caring, whatever. She keeps, like, my belly's always full as well. Like I'm there, like even like friends come over and Nia's like instantly like, oh, I'll get food, I'll do this, like I'll make sure what do you guys need. I'm like, oh my god. And then from that stuff, like all the things that she's doing, then it's just like it encourages me to like do all these things for her, because we're not trying to like do something and then we're not getting something back. So both of us
Yeah.
are giving each other like 100%.
Yeah, like
Because it's like-
overcompensating for what's not there, not being met by our partner. Like
Exactly.
Jack was pouring 200% into me after like that first phone call. Like, you know, even beforehand, but like after that first, he just was like, I could tell he wanted to be with me. Like I could tell he was like he knew he kind of didn't want anybody else to have me. And so, I mean, he just got more comfortable and more comfortable. And I was like, oh my God. And then with certain things he would say, I was like, oh, he's a leader for sure. And then he would be like super funny. And then like what people would call simpy, it's not even simpy. He just was open and honest with showing me how much he liked me. And that was really, really, really sweet, and showing me different aspects of him and then his family and his family dynamic. It just was like all flowing naturally. And then at one point we almost both said, I love you on the phone. And we were like, we can't say that. Like we were aware that it was fast, but it wasn't fast to us. It was just natural. It was like, oh, I've known this person for years in a past life. It wasn't forced. In past relationships, I've felt forced to do certain things. This literally felt like I had already known Jack years ago.
Literally.
Like that's what it was.
And
Just
you've never been into this shit either, like soulmate stuff. I never really thought about it.
yeah. If anything, I thought like my mom was my soulmate, because soulmates can just be platonic. Like soulmates don't have to be somebody you ever crush on. So, you know, I thought I was like, oh, it's my mom, and we've gone through a lot together and shit like that. So I was like, oh yeah. I met Jack and I went, wow, this is what love is. Okay, it can be innocent, pure, and just good. Like there'll be hills, yes, but they don't have to be fucking like mountains that are just toxic and shit. And I'm used to kind of that. So the fact that I got to experience hills with this person and then like be able to laugh and still have that same healthy dynamic when dealing with something, you know, the outcome, you think it'll be rocky and then it's still like lovable. I was like, oh, it can just be peaceful and we can just have discussions and shit. It was nice.
Yeah. Crazy.
So that's
If
what it
you,
is.
I didn't believe this until I met Nia, but
Yeah, for sure.
if you meet someone and she's the right person, then you'll just know. And it
You will
sounds
just
cliche, but
We thought it was cliche.
Sometimes the most cliche advice is the realest if you really internalize it. If you just think about the cliche advice as on the baseline level, well then it's not going to do anything for you. But if you really break it down and internalize and relate this cliche advice to your real life, where it's like, if she's the one, you'll just know.
Yeah.
If she's the one, she'll hop on a flight to come see you after talking for fucking 3 weeks.
Yes.
You know, and it'll just feel right.
Yes.
If she's the one, you'll just be connected and you want to tell her like everything. You want to do everything for her. You want to carry all her bags. You want to open the door for her. You want to make sure she's heard. You want to make sure that she feels loved. You want to make sure everything. Right? If she's the one, you just want to do that shit as a default.
Yeah, literally just
Because
as a
it just
default.
it feels
'Cause
like,
it's like, why
you've
would you
known
not?
each other. It feels
Yeah.
like you've known each other in a past life. Like I've never had this feeling with anyone, and I thought this shit was cliche. But you just feel like you've already known each other. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. So I think that's a beautiful way to sum it all up, honestly. Like, if he makes you feel more than just loved, like really heard out, like initially like you just know. And so especially men, like I feel like Jack has shown me, like if a man knows, he knows. And when I showed my mom the video that Jack made to himself about the 3:40 a.m. thing, she literally went, when men know, they know. And if they don't, then they don't. And, you know, they'll go out and they'll be single, and like women can do the same thing too. But when men know, they know. And it's just, I was like, oh, okay, like that's cool, that's whatever. And when he told me, he was like, no, you don't understand. Like I knew, I was floored. I was floored. And I felt the exact same way. I just didn't know how to vocalize it because, yeah, he's an amazing young man. And we're still young. So if he wanted the chance to still go be single and everything, and me too, I just wasn't trying to stop that or lock him down. So when he took the initiative, I was like, I need a man with initiative. I need a man that's coming correct. Like, if you know what you want, just let me know what's up. I don't need anybody beating around the bush. I want to feel taken care of. I want to feel like a princess because I do so much for myself and my family. I want to relax and have a peaceful love. And he gave me that 10 times over. I don't have to lift a finger if I don't want to. And it's not that, like, I don't want to. It's just like he just makes sure I'm taken care of. And I can shut my brain off when I want to just go chill out and have fun and things like that. He spoils me, like, mentally and internally. And then, of course, physically, it's just like, yeah, I'm just like a princess. I'm in, like, Disneyland. So, yeah.
And now she's going to go home tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be another obstacle which we're going to overcome. But
yeah, we'll work through it.
Yeah, we'll update you on the next chapter. Mm-hmm. But
this is how we met. This is how we fell in love.
This is the story of how we met. So we'll watch this back in, 20, 30 years, whatever. Little Romeo will watch this. The whole fam.
You're so giddy.
But, yeah, okay. I reckon we'll wrap this up here.
Yes, we will.
Because I feel like that pretty much covers the whole story.
We just wanted to share it. And
I wanted to share it to just show you that it's
possible.
Your life can be a movie. Like, this is literally a movie. Your life can be a movie if you just start doing things for yourself, start getting to know yourself, start taking your own actions. Shit like this will just fall into your lap. And as we end this video, Princess and the Frog is ending as well. So that's beautiful. Timing. Perfect timing. Thank you guys for sticking around. Nia always likes to have a Disney movie on whenever she records anything. Yeah, it's just, and even when the noise isn't on, I just like seeing that something in the background is alive as well. So, this is just like a video diary. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and you just
Yeah, take it all in.
Take it all in.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I feel about
For
it.
sure. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I'm keen to make an update to this and see what happens. We'll make another one when I'm in America. Ooh.
Because it'll happen.
It will happen. We can do anything.
He's going to watch this back and cry.
No.
No. My sweet boy. Okay.
All right, guys.
Good luck, Charlie.
Good luck, Charlie.
You know that show on
Yeah.
Disney?
All right, guys. Yeah, we'll leave you to it. I'll see you in the next one.
Okay.
Bye. And touch the camera.
Yeah. Why is it not stopping?
You gotta press the button.
I did. Wrong button.